Get down. Hey, Instagram, it's me, T from Patterson. Taking the trains to Tibet. Look, this is a Wednesday, which means it's talk about the World Day. Our world is pretty small now. We're just talking about look. There's this new president of Namibia, President Netanyahu. She's a woman. Just thought out. She's a woman. How do you? She's a woman. That doesn't make no sense. Because I'm two. It doesn't matter. And it seems like now. Here's the thing. There's so much stuff happening over the internet. I really don't have the inclination to check things. I know I should. I don't have a staff. I just have my opinion and a little research. Well, I can do research. Isn't that true? I can do this. Anyway, you see, let me go back. See, there's a lot of stories. I'll mention that tomorrow. Tomorrow. This is a world day. Tomorrow's audio drama day. I want to mention something about all these stories that's going around about Ibn Traore and stuff like that. On Friday, we'll have a wrap-up day. That's what we usually do. On Saturdays, we have whatever comes to my head day. On Sundays, we read, and then we take us to whatever we read and we riff off of that. By the way, I might as well announce now. This Sunday, we're going to, we've been reading out Tagore, the Indian writer. But I'm going to do the last reading from Tagore this Sunday because it's going to be the last reading of Tagore. I had started that whole series when I got here with Gibran. But this Sunday is May 27th, and then on the next Sunday is May 4th. That's my last Sunday here. So the 27th there, I'm going to, not May 4th, the last, what am I talking about? Yeah, I'm sorry. This Sunday is April 27th. Sorry about that. April 27th. So that's going to end the Tagore thing, and then on May 4th, new month, we're going to do somebody else. I'll keep you suspended. That's how you get people to keep on watching your stuff. You give them a little suspense, cliffhangers, stuff like that. And then on Mondays we usually have a me day talking about me, and Tuesdays we have U.S. politics day. But right now let's talk about Netanyahu, the new president of Namibia, meeting with Captain Ibn Traore, my commander in chief, the president, I guess president something of Burkina Faso. They met. What happened? He just showed up. Boop. You gotta hand it to my commander in chief. He know what to do. You don't be talking, you be doing. I gotta make a slogan out of that. For my commander, you know what my commander in chief was? For my commander in chief, my commander in chief don't be talking, he be doing. Anyway, they showed up, and they showed up, and he wanted to talk to them about something. They did talk about something. They went into the Kalahari Desert, which is in Namibia. Anyway, they met, they saw this project that was happening. This project was happening from some, let's call it that's not marginal. This project was happening with like young people, right? Mostly young people, and it was a project where they were doing some cultural or some other things. It's like they had some technological things, some cultural things going, both the presidents of these countries said, this is what we need. Now I bring this up because there's a thing I call, since we're in Namibia, there's a spider. I learned about this a long time ago. There's a spider. I even got the name of it, but I never use it because I got to look it up again. Anyway, this spider in Southwest Africa, it has these. It does this cooperative, let's call it communalist. It does this communalist web. So each spider has a little node, and they join up their webs together. I call it communalism. See, I'm not into communism. I'm into communalism. Anyway, and they join this, make a bigger web so they can catch bigger prey. And these little webby things, I call them, they're called nodes. Interestingly enough, when Russia and the BRICS got together, they started calling things nodes. That's a word for you. And I started using that word a lot. Anyway, nodes. Nodes are important because nodes connote. That's another big old word. Connote. Independence means that you do what you do, and when you can hook up with other like nodes, then you hook up with like nodes. If you like nodes are like you're like you, then you can catch bigger prey, or you can not catch bigger prey. You can catch bigger treasures, or whatever it is. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. That meeting and that situation sparked this thing in my head. As you know, the AU, this African Union, as well as a bunch of other like ECOWAS and maybe even SADC, they all beholden to the West. They'll have a bank, but the bank will do on the board or whatever. The bank will be heavily influenced by Western nations, like France and America and I don't know, Japan and whatever else, whatever wannabe colonists are out there. And then, of course, the countries will go to the bank, oh, we need some money, and then they got to go this whole thing, and go there, it would be years before, whatever the deal is. Well, the Sahel states, they formed the thing where they don't have to do with the IMF and or those kind of people that own part of your bank. They own themselves, and they have made great, in fact, I think they announced that bank 2 years ago or a year ago, whatever they announced the bank, and it's up and running already. In fact, they even got their own currency, right? Now, those are the ECOWASs and whatever other countries, other nodes, they're not nodes, whatever they call themselves out there, they've been in existence. I think they're going to say there's a 50th anniversary year or something. They ain't done diddly, they ain't done squat. They ain't achieved in 50 years what 3 countries have achieved in 1 year. Okay, let's give them 2 years just in case. Ain't that something? And yet and still, the ECOWASs and the African Union they want, oh no, come and join us, no! You should be joining them and cut your ties with the wannabe colonizers. I'm calling them wannabe colonizers, even though they're still all colonizers. As long as you keep on referring to these wannabe colonizers, then they are colonizers. Simple logic. What can I tell you? So that's what we're finding. I have this thing called RIP. RIP, yes, rest in peace. Yeah, no, it means rip into pieces. All those contracts and those agreements that when the colonizer finally said, oh, you can go and you're independent, you can do it, but sign this thing, right? And that thing binds you to them. Well, those things that they signed, maybe 100 years ago or whatever years ago, 10 years, whatever, you need to rip into pieces those things, because those are what we call, like this, those are from the bygone days. We in a new epoch. Those are bygone days. We're in a new epoch. And this epoch is about the young people. All them people from the bygone days, them old people that worship the whatever, when I say old people, I mean the old mentalities. See, now, I might be an old person, but, since I don't live like them old people, I don't live in the palatial states, I don't have no big old car, I don't go to the dinners and the luncheons or whatever, that they go to, right? I hang out with the downtrodden. And because I hang out with the downtrodden, my brain remains with the youths, with the people that are trying to change things. It's not trying to ascend to the people that keep on trying to, that want to be. And that's the difference. You can pick people, don't get, for the most part, old people are doing what old people do, which is like being lazy. Sorry, I said it. Being lazy, right? They ain't got the energy. They ain't got the energy. Old people ain't got no energy, right? Well, okay, let me leave that part alone. And therein lies the problem. If you want to rip something into pieces, you've got to replace it with something. And every time you can replace with something, if you have the energy to create something. If you ain't got the energy to create something to replace what you ripping into pieces, well, by definition, You ain't going nowhere. You ain't done diddly. So unless you're going to start a new bank on your own conditions, which is what the hell people are doing, you know what I mean? Unless you're going to fund these programs on your own fruition, well, then you're going to remain. You say, "Oh no, join us! No, we need you. We need your rep. We need your clout." So to speak. No, because let me tell you what's happening. The populace, the peoples are saying, "Oh, these guys are doing the do. These guys are yakking the yak. Oh, yak will get you drunk on your own power. And no, we need people to be doing." So the populace is making their choices. Of course, there's agents. Let's not just be distracted by that. So there it is. We all have a choice. We, the populace, have a choice. Are you going to do the do? Or are you going to yak the yak? Just saying. I'll talk to you all later.